The Baristina is an interesting little machine that can make a decent coffee, though it may lack some body and intensity. If you've seen my full review, nothing new here, but if you haven't, I encourage you to go check it out. And today we will explore the best settings for this machine and we will see if it's possible to improve the espresso quality. Hi, my name is Colin. Welcome to Cafe Lista, the fully independent channel where we talk about coffee. As you might know, the Baristina doesn't offer much in terms of adjustment. You can't increase the dose, you can't change the grind size or adjust the temperature. Though the coffee does come out quite hot and that's pretty good. So as you guess, there is not much to do here, but there is an option to slightly increase the intensity, which will increase the dose by using the middle button here, which is called Boost. The Baristina is designed to handle the grind size and dose automatically, so you may see some small variation. In my test, I often ended up with between 11 to 13 grams of coffee. So the first step is to use the Boost function, I think, as much as you can, or pretty much every time. It won't work miracles, but it's a start. Okay, now what else can we do? Not much, but we can, of course, change our coffee. So the last way to tweak things here is to change the coffee we've been using. Since this machine often under extract, I would recommend using here a darker roast. I'm not advising here a black, oily roast, usually that's burnt, but a good medium dark. And keep in mind here that it varies a lot by roasters. It's something that is quite subjective, but here is the type of bean I would recommend. I would also suggest to avoid any kind of a fruity, floral coffee. A very light roast, it's not going to do well with the Baristina. And that's it. That's all we can do with its machine limitation. But let's see if we can improve things a little bit more. Here we're going to try two things. I will adjust and increase the dose manually, and I will also grind finer with an external grinder. A quick disclaimer before we get into this. What I'm about to show you will improve drastically the espresso quality, but it's not the standard use of the machine. As I mentioned, we will increase the dose and grind finer. So nothing extreme, but I just want to be sure and cautious. Maybe it's gonna put some stress on the pump of the Baristina. I don't know. First try, we will increase the dose. In the full review, I experimented with running 2 grind cycles, but this resulted in too much coffee in the portafilter, causing some and a lot to fall when it moves to the left. The solution here, it's quite simple. We will run not 2, but 1.5 grind cycle. It takes approximately 10 seconds for the machine to grind for an espresso. So here what we will do is for the first cycle I will stop it around 4 seconds. It's gonna fill up halfway the portafilter, then it will go back to the left. For that I'll press, when it's done after 4 seconds, the espresso or the single button, and then I start again, and this time I will run it fully for the full 10 seconds. This way we get more coffee in the portafilter. We are more around 16-17 grams, which is almost a double espresso, and it won't perform miracles again, but it can seriously improve the result. Now the last option, and the best, we are going to grind finer with an espresso grinder. What I'm trying now goes a little bit against the machine because the idea here is to have something fully automatic, but let's give it a try. You start the espresso shot with your own coffee grind here in the portafilter, and you'll see. I'm using here the K Ultra from Espresso, though the King Grinder K6 that I have to works really well, or any kind of good grinder. I will add around 14-15 grams of coffee, so at a finer grind. So this is much finer than the Baristina, but I'm not going also as far as a traditional espresso grind. And let's see the results. As you can see, the flow is slower and there is a better crema. The body is much better. Again, this is not a perfect cup and perfect extraction, but it's much better than we have with the standard version. In conclusion here, there is no surprise. Using your own grinder and having the ability to dial in properly to adjust the grind size, of course, gonna make a better espresso. If you have a grinder at home, that's something you could try. And I'm curious, do you have any tips or tricks for using the Baristina? If you enjoyed this video, I recommend watching this one here. I think you will like it. As usual, I hope you will have a good day. See you soon. Ciao.